Innovation is this discovery or application of something new. And certainly it's better to just baseline everybody and talking about what innovation is, first of all. So if that's the discovery of something new, that falls very well in line with what creatives are trying to achieve, which is something new, something breakthrough, to cut through the clutter and to get consumers to think about brands in more meaningful ways. And technology absolutely today, now more than ever before, inspires creativity. It should inspire creativity because it's a huge enabler to the entire process, whether it's the actual creation of the technology or the delivery of the creative to the ecosystem where we buy programmatically, as you mentioned, or not programmatically, and the actual devices that reach the consumers. Technology, again, plays a huge part. And so knowing all of those stops along the road should absolutely inspire creativity, which is why I'm excited about Cannes. Technology allows their palette to become much bigger and much more robust than ever before. And so certainly there's some brands that are doing a great job at breaking through and leveraging a lot of things, but if we're talking about technology and innovation, leveraging technology and innovation in really creative ways. And the brands that are winning in doing that are doing that because they have purposeful innovation, purposeful innovation frameworks that they're working on. We work on that with them, help them lead that. And the brands that maybe need a little more help aren't focusing as much and having these frameworks for innovation. And so when you have so many choices in the marketplace, in order to basically use as a palette for creativity, when it comes to technology, you need the brands that are winning are being very purposeful about that. And it means not trying everything all the time, but being very focused on what they know they need to try in order to do something new for their brand. So those are the brands that are winning. If a brand is thinking ahead or in the now, in the consumer now, the definition of content changes a bit, right? And I think actually to the Billboard Music Awards that were just on pretty recently, and the content was for the Michael Jackson section was not only the music and not only the visual, but it was the enabling technology that was able to bring all of that together to give an experience to the audience that they never had experienced before. That is content, the combination of all those elements. So rethinking content and what content is created from is that new palette I'm talking about. And I think brands that understand it are brands that are winning. I get a couple of exciting things in my job that most people don't. I get to dream a bit about that far time where, you know, we haven't figured out ad formats yet, but we will at some point. So some of those exciting trials that are happening right now in terms of even brainwave technology that can fly helicopters and can help you focus your mind, and you think that that's really far off, for example, when it comes to advertising, but in fact there's a product called LumaFit that's kind of the new evolution of wearable that combines sports tracking with your ability to meditate. And if you think about that for a minute, that is a brand moment. That's a messaging moment to be able to align with those kinds of products and those kinds of technologies that can be a center or a centering part of a person's life. So things like that are fun, but I think that more near-term emerging areas that are really fun certainly are augmented reality. I think is kind of coming into its own. I think ACR, automatic content recognition, is starting to pick up speed, and those have real, everyday, scalable applications that are pretty exciting for the consumers. Oculus is one product of many that are on the marketplace. They have the most, you know, brand recognition because of the acquisition and because they're good marketers. There's a couple of other competitors that probably could win too, whether they have functionality of, you know, bringing the headset down and bringing it back up. Say you're on a plane, you're not going to, you know, walk on the plane with your Oculus, but you might walk on the plane with something that looks maybe like a Beats by Dre, but can motion down and become your immersive gaming experience. So Oculus is a great start, and I think there's going to be some competitors on the marketplace that will, catch up or be comparable or even leapfrog, especially when you think about the gaming applications. There is a very big difference between automated and programmatic, and so we as an industry should really separate those things, so I'm glad you did. In terms of automation is good because it reduces friction in the process and it helps increase efficiencies in just the things that we do every day. And so we like automation because it allows us to be more efficient for our clients with everything from billing to trafficking to all of those things that nobody likes to talk about because they're not sexy, but in fact that's the true pipeline of how all this gets done. There's a lot of work to be done. Facebook said we're 1% done. We're 1% done on automation. There's a lot of opportunity for us to streamline and make things more efficient. And so obviously we're looking at all of those areas, very carefully and trying to pick the things that we think that would benefit our clients the most. And we're being, purposeful and doing kind of those structured reviews in order to pick the right partners and have the right processes to get those things done. Meaningful innovation is a really important phrase. We call it structured or purposeful innovation, purpose-driven innovation. I think the industry is definitely and hopefully moving from kind of random acts of digital brilliance to consistent acts of digital brilliance. We talk about that quite often with our clients. And in order for us to have proper innovation, it needs to be purpose-driven, meaning proper brief, meaning focused attention, with an outcome that we're actually going to action on. I know that seems really basic, but that's where true innovation lies. And I'm seeing a lot of pockets with a lot of accelerators, that are public and both private. We also run them as well. We had three at CES this last year with Nescafe and Kimberly-Clark with 2 of their brands, and certainly the outcomes of purpose-driven innovation are clear in the client words themselves. You can check that out. But we will continue to drive that fast, and we know that the marketplace will continue to look at it. There's too much out there in order not to focus in a purposeful way for that.